ass an astronaut. That's
Don't
what
do that to those ladies.
Katy Perry said it.
Real hard.
Okay. Well, when they had their costumes designed in the fall, she said, with the designer, she said, we're putting the ass an astronaut. I'm talking about the Blue Origin flight that happened this morning with 6 females for the first time ever going into space. And, overall, it was pretty exciting.
Yeah, pretty awesome. Katy Perry was a little emotional. Way to kick off her new tour. Good luck to her.
She also mentioned, how it just makes you realize how much love you have inside when you launch.
I mean, look, I can't even begin to imagine what that experience is like. I will say, I'm glad there were some like actual science people, sciencey people.
Definitely, yes. I'm happy for especially the Aisha Rowe, I think her name is, who worked at NASA for years, who never thought she would have the opportunity to do this. And so that was really exciting to have her dreams come true.
Maybe one day they'll do radio hosts, YouTubers in space.
Well, that was the next question I was going to have. The two of you, I mean, we're doing this, and I was talking to my wife while this was happening. I was like, man, if you told somebody 25 years ago or 40 years ago that I was going to be sitting on my couch on my cell phone watching live footage of a rocket get launched into space and then return, and I mean the rocket actually returning back and landing and then being used again, and then it was going to be so casual and nonchalant that a pop star, soon to be one of the richest women in the world, and Gayle King were going to be a part of this, you'd just be like, wait, what?
You're like Oprah's friend?
Exactly.
Yeah. Oprah's friend Gail's going to go to space?
And
what kind of drugs are you on?
We would say, who are the Kardashians?
Well, there's that, yeah.
Well, they were there. They were there to lend moral support for their bestie, Lauren.
So 20 years from now, it's going to become commonplace.
Like we're going to be there.
$2,500, you could probably do it yourself. Yeah. So I asked,
$2,500.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, I would save. Definitely.
Okay.
I would do it for free.
Oh.
I'm not spending.
Bradley's available.
Yeah.
If you would like to sponsor his
exactly.
trip to space.
If you would like to send me to space, please donate below.
Oh, well.
You guys want to do some blind items?
Yeah.
To the moon!
Let's get it started here with a little blinded by the item. Let's begin with this one, because not only were people shot to space this morning, it was a big weekend, and I'm guessing we're going to get more blind items as the week goes on with the fact that Coachella Weekend 1 kicked off. Saw lots of celebrities doing their thing. And here's our first blind item that is adjacent to Coachella. This weekend, this A-list rocker was trying to set his daughter up with guys twice her age. Not as creepy as it seems, though. It was under the direction of this in-law because clearly the daughter doesn't have the best judgment.
How is that still not creepy then?
Well, that's true. But maybe it's not just him being creepy.
The uncle was in on it, too.
According to the blind item, this weekend, this A-list rocker was trying to set his daughter up with guys twice her age. Not as creepy as it seems, though, as it was under the direction of his in-law because clearly the daughter doesn't have the best judgment.
So grandma was helping or grandpa?
Yep.
Oh. And are they also famous?
Yep.
Okay, so it's a famous family.
Yep.
Okay.
Tom Hanks.
Rock star.
Okay.
A-list rocker trying to set his daughter up with guys twice her age, over twice her age.
Okay.
So it's
under the direction of an in-law.
Nepo babies.
Anybody from Green Day or... Okay.
This isn't like a John Bon Jovi.
I think she's spoken for.
Yeah.
Or he's spoken for in this case.
So then let's think rockers. Paul McCartney?
Nope.
With a daughter, so...
This A-list rocker was trying to set his daughter up with guys over twice her age. It's maybe not as creepy as it seems, as it was actually under the direction of his in-law.
Did you say is the daughter famous?
Yeah.
She is.
Everyone in this family.
Everyone is famous. Oh.
Some are more famous than others, though.
Is this like a Miley Cyrus thing?
No.
Is it like Liv Tyler, Steven Tyler? Okay.
What if I told you
the Osmond family?
We are just moments into this blinded by the item. You have already said one of these individuals' names.
Katy Perry?
We've already said, was it
Gail
with The Rock?
King? Were they on the spacecraft?
Travis Barker? Okay.
We said Travis Barker already?
Well, we said the Kardashians.
You said specifically the in-law who's calling the shots.
Kris Jenner.
Jenner.
And of course, his daughter is
Courtney? Wait, no, his daughter.
Alabama Barker.
According to the blind items, Travis Barker was trying to set his daughter, Alabama Barker, up with men over twice her age. It's maybe not as creepy as it seems. No, I think it still is.
No,
but it was under the direction of Kris Jenner because apparently the daughter doesn't have the best judgment.
So what? She's like, let's take care of that daughter. Let's get her married off to some old dude.
Yeah, maybe she won't be fighting with bad baby.
I think that's maybe where the blind
They're like,
issue
wants
let's move that conversation.
Fighting with bad daddy.
Oh, God. Do we know who the old dudes are?
We don't know who the old dudes are, but apparently they're people that won't show up to Bad Baby's house with guns drawn.
Yeah, I get that.
Ex that she was with.
Okay, so now I just want there to be a store of like Bad Baby merchandise called Bad Baby and Beyond.
Yes.
I don't know why, but
well, because that one is now extinct. Bed Bath and Beyond.
Yeah,
it's gone.
They send you a lot of coupons, or they used to anyway.
Well, that is interesting. I could see how they would want to move the narrative out of that world and say, let's not think about that anymore because that's a losing fight.
Yeah,
and let's move our focus towards Alabama Barker with someone else.
Creepy old man.
Yeah.
All right, you guys got the first one. That was a Coachella adjacent blind.
Thank you.
Probably return to
Kris
it.
Jenner is just doing it all, man.
I mean, she was at the rocket launch. She was.
Mm-hmm. Let's roll on and do another one. As we previously talked about, the streamer will lie about how many people watch the show, but the podcast network doesn't play those games. Even though there were a ton of bots and curious people listening, the podcast was an epic failure. Wow. When there's really not even a person given in this blind item, it's pretty obvious, I think, where it goes. But according to the blind item, the streamer said that, we talked about the fact that the streamer will lie about how many people watched the show, but the podcast network doesn't play that game. So even though there were a ton of bots and curious people listening, the podcast was an epic fail. This was for a A-list celeb.
Are we talking about someone who is a business competitor with Smuckers?
Yes, we are.
Are we talking about a
Meghan!
podcast?
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Meghan Markle. What were
Are
you
we
gonna
talking
say?
about a podcast that Bradley listened to? Didn't you listen to it?
The first part of it?
Yeah.
Well, apparently it wasn't enough to bring those numbers up because according to the blind item, we always knew the streamer Netflix was going to lie about how many people was going to watch the streaming show, but the podcast network is not going to play that game. So even though there were tons of bots and curious people listening in, Confessions of a Female Founder was an epic flop.
I mean, which I'm also not surprised by in the least. And I think you can be successful in one thing and not the other. So I don't know about that. Netflix, is always going to Netflix. So I wouldn't be surprised. But the reason I turned it off was just because I just wasn't interested in the stories they were telling. So, and it's got to be hard to grab anyone's attention in that space right now.
Yeah.
Ourselves included. Like and subscribe.
Did it feel like there wasn't a lot of vulnerability?
No. I think it's just that it seems so like I get the sense that I'm not going to learn anything
right
genuine that is actually enlightening.
Yeah.
I don't know how to put this because I don't know what I would say, like, do this instead, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know that I have the answer to what would make it better. But I think the majority of people show up to find out, like, what it really is like for Meghan Markle to be Meghan Markle, Sussex. Like, what was her actual life like after leaving? Like, we want to know all that stuff. We don't care about the business stuff is great for other business people, right? Like, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a woman in business, you might find a lot of connection in that. As a person who's not in that world, I want more of the, like, I want to hear about your life.
Yep.
Yeah. She's not going to talk about that.
And I feel like you're not going to get that. Yeah.
And even if you are a businesswoman, she has such an advantage over other people that it can't be organic. Like any normal, everyday appeal to the masses person that wants to be an entrepreneur, she did not start from the bottom.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's a very narrow slice of female entrepreneurs that are going to have, that are going to be able to relate to that experience for sure.
Yeah.
All right, nicely done. Let's roll along with another blind item today. Like and subscribe to this podcast and this YouTube channel. Yeah, you can check out the podcast as well. We've got this blind item for the two of you. This biggest award winner in TV and movies, A-minus list actor. So he's a A-minus list actor who's won the biggest award in TV and movies. And his fellow A-minus list TV and movie star have been, quote, broken up for a while. They just didn't want to stay together, they just wanted to stay together long enough to squeeze the last bit of juice out of the publicationship and made the announcement literally 4 days after his new movie dropped. So let me read this one again. We've got an A-minus list actor who's won the biggest awards in both TV and movies, and a fellow A-minus list TV and movie star that have been broken up for a while. They just wanted to milk out every last bit of juice out of the publicationship they could and make the announcement literally 4 days after his movie dropped.
I don't want to hear about milking out the juice of a publicationship.
How you get the juice out of a publicationship. Dawn, you are shaking your head. I think you know this one.
I do know this, but does it have to do with robots?
With robot? Well, I guess,
with him.
Yes.
The title of one of his shows. Yeah.
He is Mr. Robot.
Yes.
Oh, you know this one.
Yeah, it's Rami Malek and Emma Corrin.
There you go. That is the blind item there. You nailed it. The biggest winner, he, of course, has won an Oscar and an Emmy for Best Actor in Mr. Robot for the Emmy, and also, of course, Bohemian Rhapsody for the movie. But Rami Malek and Emma Corrin have been, quote, broken up for a while. They just didn't want to, or they wanted to stay together long enough for his new movie to drop, which, by the way, just dropped this past weekend, and then literally 4 days later, we're not together anymore.
Yeah.
So,
wow.
You know, I was looking at the beginning of their relationship with just their publicationship, which I believe was always like for a publicity standpoint.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they didn't end up close, but you don't see them out all the time together. They got together whenever he was promoting in Oppenheimer. And she was probably filming, I think, Deadpool, Wolverine. And so they needed, like, she had the crown and that had passed. Like, it had been a while. And then his Oscar in Bohemian Rhapsody, that was 2019. So they both needed a little push, in the direction of let's keep their stars, glowing. And so they needed each other at the time.
Perfect relationship fuel.
Yep. And now it's almost the 2-year mark. So it doesn't make sense anymore.
It's actually almost a 3-year mark. It was, yes, you're exactly right. Yeah, almost 2 years because I think it was July. We saw them kissing and making out like right after the premiere of Oppenheimer. Mm-hmm. And then they were at the U.S. Open together. And it's just,
and on red carpets.
Yes.
Pretty much.
So there you go.
Smoking a ciggy again?
Yeah, again. I haven't smoked in what?
I know. That's what I mean. What's that over there, though?
I'm just, because we've learned throughout the years of doing this show and other shows like it, and talking to all the celebrities that in Hollywood,
nothing is real.
And everyone smokes.
That's right. Let me go ahead and make my fake cigarette, too.
And just to clean up, because I'm sure someone in the comments has mentioned Emma Corrin, non-binary, goes by they, them pronouns. So I just wanted to throw that in.
I didn't know that.
Yes. But
I did, and I forgot.
That is the latest one there. You guys got got that one. So let's move on and do another blind item here. Let's move on to, by the way, The Amateur, the new movie, actually did pretty dang well.
Really?
I mean, $15 million for I think it opened like 30 million and worldwide for a $60 million movie, and it looks kind of fun. I'm going to check it out.
Good luck to her.
Yeah.
That was Rami Malek.
Him.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Good luck
to them.
To them.
Yes. Yes. Talk about an odd.
Which, by the way, really quickly, can I just say thank you to the audience who dropped into the comments on our YouTube channel to let us know what kind of merch they want, because we'd like to make it happen.
We're working
on
it.
Stay tuned. Sorry, Mike.
That's okay. You guys want to talk about an odd couple?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Talk about an odd couple here. This foreign-born permanent A-list singer has been banned by his people from hanging out with this longtime A-list rocker, because the last time they hung out was the last time the foreign-born singer got wasted out of his mind. They used to party together for days on end. So we've got a foreign-born permanent A-list singer has been banned by his people from hanging out with this longtime A-list rocker, because the last time they hung out, was the last time the foreign-born singer got wasted out of his mind. They used to party together like crazy for days on end.
It doesn't sound like an odd couple.
Well,
sounds like a perfect couple.
Wait until you hear who the two of these individuals are. So again, they're labeling this as odd couple. It's a foreign-born permanent A-list singer and a longtime A-list rocker.
Is it Bieber?
It is not Bieber.
Okay.
Foreign born, so young, old, is that the odd couple?
I wouldn't say young, old, but younger / old. Yeah, I mean,
okay,
are
but
they
that's
odd
not
because...
that's not what makes them odd, is my point.
It's odd just because you wouldn't think of these two individuals together, although there is a pretty big age gap.
Okay.
And is it like different genres of music?
Yes, that as well.
Dolly Parton and Gene Simmons.
Close. No, not even close. Foreign-born, permanent A-list singer, and I'll give you a little hint. That's the younger one. And then a longtime A-list rocker.
Okay. Permanent.
Okay, everyone's having some issues this morning.
So think of permanent A-list singer.
Okay.
It's not Dolly Parton.
Who's not being described. Foreign-born, permanent A-list singer.
This is the older or the younger?
This is the younger.
Oh, Miley Cyrus?
No.
Male.
Foreign-born, permanent A-list singer.
And you and all your details.
Quit trying to help me.
I know. I'm just not paying
attention. Is this person
attention.
okay, let me ask about this foreign-born permanent A-list singer.
Please do.
Are they sober now? Or
I don't think they're sober now.
Has there been any problems with drugs and alcohol and partying?
Not that I recall. I don't believe so.
It's not like Matt Healy.
Nope.
Shawn Mendes?
Nope.
Is Canadian?
No.
Brit?
Yes.
A Brit? Oh, Harry Styles.
Nope.
No.
One is it a One Directioner?
Nope.
Okay. Sam Smith?
Nope.
Good guess.
Bad Bunny?
He's from Puerto Rico.
Foreign-born. There's not many people that would be considered foreign-born permanent A-list that are on the younger side, but this person is going to be
Keith Urban and someone?
But they're British.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was saying the other person.
The other is a longtime A-list rocker.
Okay.
Is it like Mick Jagger?
Nope.
Did it happen at Coachella?
No.
Jeez.
A permanent A-list American rocker?
Correct.
American rocker!
Some might even say he's an American badass.
Oh, Kid Rock?
Kid Rock.
And
speaking of an odd couple,
Little Lord Fauntleroy.
This foreign-born permanent A-list singer has been banned by his people from hanging out with Kid Rock because the last time they hung out was back when the foreign-born singer got wasted
really
out of his mind. I mean, once you hear it, it's going to be obvious, but again, it's an odd couple for a reason.
Okay.
It's a Brit.
But you're talking about all this individuals' contemporaries, like all you two, or the One Direction era. A lot of people you're saying is right in that same age group. Mid-30s.
Okay.
British permanent A-list.
Ed Sheeran?
Yeah.
Oh, obviously.
According to the blind item, talk about an odd couple. Ed Sheeran has been banned by his people from hanging out with Kid Rock because those two used to be quite the partying pair. They used to party for days on end, and it was the last time that Ed Sheeran got
I'm going to say
sloppy.
I'm going to say.
Yeah.
There is someone listening who might be able to confirm this story.
Ooh.
Oh, yes.
And I'm not going to say.
Exactly.
But if that person is listening,
then
they should really reach out and confirm that story for us.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
We'll have our people get on it and we'll report back to the blind items people.
Because, I will say that is odd and to the average person.
Yeah.
But when you think about that world, it's probably far smaller than we realize. And there are odd, I don't want to say bedfellows, odd party fellows that we would be surprised by.
Interesting.
Interesting indeed.
Interesting.
Do another blind item here. Both of these former A-plus list musicians, one foreign-born, cost themselves a boatload of money last week with since-deleted posts. One is going to get sued by a familiar foe, and the other by their own former company. Their downfalls have been eerily similar in vibe and trajectory. Both of these former A-plus list musicians, one foreign-born, has cost themselves a boatload of money this last week with since-deleted posts. One is going to be sued by a familiar foe, while the other is going to be sued by their own company. Their downfalls are eerily similar in vibe and trajectory.
I feel like I've seen a story about somebody who removed some stuff.
Is it Kanye?
That's
he one
one.
of them? Okay. Does it have anything to do with Ashley Olsen?
Nope.
Saying he
The
slept with
Kanye,
Ashley Olsen?
or the Taylor Swift.
There you go. That would be the familiar foe.
Yeah.
And now we have another former A-plus list musician, a foreign-born one, who's going to be sued by his own former company.
His own former company.
Company, not band, but actual company?
Record?
Actual company, not a record company.
Okay.
Like a side hustle company?
Yep.
Oh. Because he was smack talking the product or something?
Yep.
Oh.
Foreign-born former A-plus list musician.
Elton John?
Former A-plus list.
Drake?
Right country.
Oh.
The Weeknd.
Sean Weekend?
The other.
Bieber.
Justin Bieber. Oh, yeah. House of Happy or whatever it's called.
House of Drew.
Yeah.
Drew House.
Drew House.
Yes, there you go. You got it. Let's fill in this blind item here because it involves one of the most ridiculous tweets I've ever seen in my life, but let's go through it.
Okay.
Both Kanye and Justin Bieber have cost themselves a boatload of money since this last week with since-deleted posts. One is going to be getting sued by a familiar foe, while the other his own former company. Their downfalls have had an eerily similar vibe and trajectory. Justin Bieber, you nailed that second part. He apparently has a whole new line of clothing, and it has nothing to do with Drew House. And last week he said, quit buying this stuff because I'm not a part of that company anymore, and basically said it's all awful.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Yeah, don't do that.
If you removed yourself from the company and you sold it or whatever, you can't then, as the face of it, people will always remember that as yours.
Yeah.
You can't then say, don't buy this.
Yeah.
Well, also just not a good idea to burn a bunch of bridges for no reason.
Yeah.
And so that's one side of it.
Skylurk. That's the new one.
You nailed it, yes.
Skylurk.
So that's going to be where you're supposed to buy clothes from if you want to support Justin Bieber, according to him, not Drew House. And now let's go to the other side because Kanye West has, continues to use X/Twitter, which is why he continues to get himself in trouble. Most recently, it sounds like Taylor Swift is pursuing possible legal issues against him. Now, this isn't even for the tweet that I'm going to bring to you because it's one of my favorite tweets I've ever seen. He went on and talked about the sex life of Taylor Swift. I think how it related to Justin Bieber and Harry Styles, claiming she was with both of them. And
I didn't see that one.
Yeah. And that is what she is going to be having some legal issues. Here's the tweet, though. And this is Kanye West with a tweet that has since been deleted. He said he talked about the 3 moments why he never got to do the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's the one that I saw.
Yep. And one of those things were the Taylor Swift movement.
Yeah.
Another one, he claimed a former president did not care about black people. Another one had to do with the hats that he used to wear.
Yeah.
Now, he, at the end of the tweet, says, how it feel to be the best living and blocked from the main stage because of being ahead of my time. So he's the best at what he does, never got to be on the stage because of all these other external factors.
Yeah.
And the last part of the tweet, and of course, all of this is before I went full Nazi.
Right.
What?
Yeah. So don't blame it on that. It was all these, like, that was my deal, but it was these.
But he's self-aware enough to put that at the end?
Of course.
In such a ridiculous way?
Because he knows exactly what he's not doing.
Oh my gosh. It's so ridiculous.
Oh, where's Bianca, by the way?
That's a good question.
I will say it's getting very, where's Shelley Miscavige? So we need to see Bianca. Proof of life, please.
Yes.
Somebody let us know in the comments on our YouTube channel, which is called
Blinded by the Item.
Don't leave right yet because we're also on the radio on myTalk. And
if you want to play along live, that's how you can do it. CST.
And also you can download. You can download this podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Like and subscribe and tell all your friends about
Blinded by the Item.
Blinded by the Item.
Blind items are celebrity gossip with the names left out.
Together, we'll play detective to figure out what the item is telling us about our favorite celebrity.